Hello again, this is the Watering Man. I'm going to make a little video short here on the Watering Man. It's covering the spiritual toolbox that I did that was covering the parting of the Red Sea. Well, that Red Sea is the Reed Sea of your mind. Okay, reed, that's that red Adamic sea. It's also like the Reed Sea that entangles you in the cares of the world and the cares of your old fleshly thinking. Don't get entangled in that stuff. A good soldier of the Lord doesn't entangle himself in the cares of the world, the cares of their own right-mindedness. Stop it. Right? Be obedient to God. It's God's will be done, not my will be done. Quit eating from that tree of the knowledge of your own, good and evil. What you think is good and evil. You can't come up higher, up to God's superior way of thinking, God's righteousness, God's right-mindedness, that love that goes beyond the mere description of words by doing all your own stuff. Okay? Now, you can read about that story. I'm not breaking it all down right here. I'd take a lot. Yeah, but in Exodus chapter 14, verse say 1 through 31, okay, you can skim through it and read it. And now that Red Sea is your old fleshly thinking, that sea of your whole old humanity. Okay, now the children of God walked across on dry ground. They had the gravity, the love of God to do that. They were increasing. They were agreeing in the eyes of their storm, right? That's what we got to do today. So we walk. We overcome. We are an overcomer. And God brings his erhamai and his parousia, his returning in our minds. Bring those up higher in him as we rest and rely in him, and we're coming back towards the SYN in him, in union with him. Okay? Through all those days, 3 days, in our earth, right? Night, day, night, day, night, day. There's 6 phases there. Speaking of that, like 666, that humanistic thinking that's impregnated in our mind, not just your forehead, not just a tattoo up there, the mark of the beast. No. That's our speaking of our old humanistic thinking processes. It's in our forehead and in our hand. Our hand is your works, your efforts, right? Just like reaching over and picking up this phone, that had to start in my mind, right? All right. So in order to walk across that parting of the Red Seas, God's doing that. Parting of your thought processes. And you walk on dry ground. Because you have the gravitational attraction, the love of God holding you there. So you're walking up that spiraling staircase. That's beyond the natural means. You can't walk up in the natural without something very special. And believe me, agreeing with God gives you the ability. It's that love of God that does it. God's ability, God's spirit. So you can't do it by your own might and power, but it's by my spirit, says the Lord. What is that, Zechariah 4:6, I think? Okay? All right. Now, so look more on this. I opened it up quite a bit more, about 31 minutes 45 seconds in Spiritual Toolbox chapter number ST number 22. I'll get it. All right. It's dealing with the parting of the Red Sea. I mean, it's not the only one. I speak of it later, but this one's kind of a good one to start on, okay? Now, I'm going to try to sing a little song. When we come through the end of that, in the natural there, with Moses doing the parting of the Red Sea, but he didn't do it. God did. He just obeyed God in this, right? Raising that, staff and stuff. All right. Says singing to the Lord a new song, for he hath done wonderful things. Singing to the Lord a new song, for he hath done wonderful things. The horse and the rider, the horse and the rider, the horse and the rider, he is thrown in the sea. The horse and the rider, the horse and the rider, the horse and the rider, he is thrown in the sea. The Lord is my strength and my song. Salvation is of the Lord. The Lord is my strength and my song. Salvation is of the Lord. Oh, my Father is God, and I will exalt him. My Father is God, I will exalt him. My Father is God, and I will exalt him. My Father is God, I will exalt him. Now the enemy said, I'll pursue. I will overtake and divide the spoil. My desire shall be satisfied on him. I will draw my sword and destroy him. Thou didst blow with thy wind, and the sea covered them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, and the sea covered them. Who is like thee among gods? Singing to the Lord a new song, for he hath done wonderful things. Singing to the Lord a new song, for he hath done wonderful things. Okay? Now, just, God is the greatest, okay? God's bringing you through this valley of the shadow of death. He's parting the Red Sea. So you got to have the gravitational attraction, the love of God. And you get that by agreeing with God, green lighting him in these storms of your life. So boom, plants you firmly on the rock, on that dry ground, so you can walk, you can live, you can exist in these 3 days, these 3 ages of night, day, night, day, night, day, night, day, to take out this impregnated 666 thinking from each thought process in your mind. Little by little by little, little by little, boom, boom. See, you're coming back to God. Not standing in this bullcrap thinking. You're coming across that. Don't stick your hand, your works, your efforts in those walls of that Red Sea, that Reed Sea, because it'll tangle you up and you'll get entangled in the cares of your own nasty, carnal, that's non-spiritual thinking process. No, keep focused. Now, you check out more of that on Spiritual Toolbox number 22. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. If you like these, hit like and subscribe. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh.